Orpheus not only an influence on Greek culture, but one of the amazing things that Tamara and I found was that Orpheus was almost like a catalyst for renaissances. Every time there was a countercultural renaissance, there would be Orpheus in the middle of it. Operas about him, or troubadours singing about him, or really in every stage, even like Rosicrucianism, there was references to Orpheus. And then, of course, most famously for the Florentine Renaissance, when Ficino translated the hymns of Orpheus and would perform them for his friends, who included amazing artists like Da Vinci and others. And this really was, in his opinion, the inspiration toward the Renaissance, and also a way that he would heal his friends through these hymns. So he really... Orpheus, that is, really seems to me to be this archetype of countercultural renaissance. And to explain that, before I get into the myth, I'll explain a little bit about the context. So you have Olympian Greece, and this is all about the polis, about the city-state. And each individual citizen owes everything to the state. All their decisions are supposed to be based on the good of the state. There's no individuality. And the great hero of the Olympian world is the warrior, people like Achilles. And so you want to die in battle. That's the most glorious way to die for the polis. And the men were very manly. And women had no power, even in Athens, which was a democracy. But women were disempowered in Athens. For instance, if a woman was raped, it was her fault, no matter what happened. And divorce was instantly granted to her husband. Women were expected to almost hide at home to avoid that kind of thing. So along comes this new mythos, and we'll talk about how obscure the origins are. We're really not sure where it happened and how it happened. My favorite theory is that it was a Pythagorean hoax, that Pythagoras and other Pythagoreans invented Orpheus as a way of mythologizing their philosophy and making it more accessible. And it was a way of addressing the bloody Olympian religion of sacrifice, and of also introducing reincarnation ideas into Greek culture. But there's been other theories about its influence. It certainly has many ideas that remind us of Hindu religion and philosophy. So some people have thought, including, for instance, Madame Blavatsky, that Orpheus was somebody, a teacher who came from India. And people have used the name to derive various origins. So what happens when Orpheus shows up is a good question. It completely changes the dynamic in the sense that absolutely unchallenged Olympian culture, where the warriors are walking around proudly because they are the cream of the crop as far as their civilization is concerned, suddenly is dealing with these counterculture types that Aristophanes makes fun of in his comedies. But what that feels like is, if I'm an Orphic and I'm walking down the street in an ancient Greek polis and I'm passing a warrior, instead of being like the other citizens who are all worshipful and admiring, I'm going to be feeling sorry for this guy. I'm going to be feeling even a sense of contempt because he has fallen. The fact that his glory is killing other human beings is proof of his ignorance. And so the Orphics, they didn't want to fight in wars. They didn't want to kill animals to please the gods. They would say, how can you please the gods by killing animals? Blood and pain and suffering, that doesn't please the gods. And because of this belief in reincarnation, they would say, you know, that soldier that you just killed might have been your mother in another life. Mm-hmm.